us today, Bones and Fofo.
Hey! Love the intro!
I appreciate that.
Bones and Fofo. Nagsimula yun dahil sa asara nung una, di ba? Yung
Yes.
Bones, it's because of the collarbones. One time, di ba?
Yes, mismo. Wow, so updated. Well-researched tayo
I
dito.
love it. I love it.
I like it. I like it. And then Fofo is because may nakwento ako sa kanya about my brother na gusto niya akong, nag-aaway kami. Tapos gusto niya sabihin sa akin, you mofo! Nabulol siya. You fofo! Nakwento ko sa kanya, sobrang natawa siya. That same night na tinawag ko siyang Bones. So ever since sinabi niya, oh, you're fofo then.
Grabe,
I'm
sobrang
Bones.
endearing ng tawag ko pala sa'yo, Fofo.
And then now, meron na kaming PG na definition ng fofo.
Oo.
So yung PG is, in Portuguese, it means...
Cute.
Ah.
So cute.
So para sa mga bata, yun yung definition namin.
Pag na-explain kami sa kanila.
Pwede, pero alam nyo, napaka-interesting ng love story nila. You met 2010.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I was 20 and you were 22.
22.
But
This was, we even know the date. The date was...
September
You know the
28.
date. Okay.
Nah.
September 28.
Wow.
For sure. I memorize it by heart.
Ano ang first impression sa isa't isa?
Ang first impression ko, giniginaw siya. Kaya binigyan ko siya ng jacket.
Yes.
Bigyan ng jacket yan!
Binigyan ko agad ng jacket.
Panalo ba ako?
So yeah, yun yung nangyari. That was my first impression. Although before that meeting, actually, maybe half an hour before, I saw her coming into the club, the venue. Kasi event siya. And then I was like, oh, medyo cute yun ah. Tapos balik na ako dun. Kasama ko yung mga boys eh.
Na ano naman na, naspatan mo na, maganda.
Cute yun. Okay, sige.
Kilala mo na siya na sa si Megan.
Ay, hindi pa. I just saw that, there was a cute girl who came in.
Hindi mo pa alam na
Malayo siya.
celebrity.
Mga nandun pa mga 2 times farther.
Ano naspatan mo?
And ano ba yung first impression ko sa'yo? Wala, I didn't really think anything of him.
Nabasa ko,
Kinuha mo
sabi
lang
mo
yung jacket ko.
ano, nadadaldalan ka sa kanya. May nabasa ko. Nadaldal
Well,
siya.
chinika niya ako and I don't think I've ever had a conversation like that with someone. But I didn't really look into it kasi at that time, meron akong boyfriend. So parang for me, ayoko siyang intindihin kasi meron akong relationship with someone else. So I just talked to him like normal.
So I didn't think much of it yet. I didn't even know that we had a common friend.
Oo.
So I think it is when we found out that we had a common friend, maybe a few weeks later, nalaman ko na single na pala siya.
Ayun na. Yung second encounter, single na siya.
Yes.
Nag-meet kayo sa bar.
Yes.
Yes, but by chance.
By chance.
By chance. It just so happened na dahil freshly single ako, sabi ng
Palalabas
friends
pa ako
ko,
nun.
palalabas ka, sabi nila, kailangan ka namin ilabas. Mag-meet ka ng mga boys. Sabi ko, I'm not ready. Hindi ko kaya.
Mending a broken heart.
Oo. So that night, nung una naming magkakilala ulit, they actually left him at a table with me. So it ended up na dalawa lang kaming nag-uusap. And every time he would ask me a question, laging isang tanong, isang
Mahirap siya
sagot.
kausapin nun.
Oo.
And
saka-
broken-hearted.
And broken-hearted. Parang nasa isip ko, it feels so wrong for me to be talking to someone right after a breakup. Parang, am I over my ex at this point or what? Hindi ko alam. So parang, it was medyo weird to talk to you at that
Okay.
time.
I know, I got it. Nagets ko naman. I mean, especially for the guys, when you're talking to a girl for the first time, medyo mahirap na may barrier. Nararamdaman namin yun na parang one-word answer.
Guarded.
Ano ba
Parang
yan?
hindi interesadong makipag-usap.
Oo, Pero it wasn't
tinuloy
so
mo.
bad. It wasn't so bad kasi sumasagot. Mahirap yung hindi sumasagot yung, hey, how are you? Tapos, ayun, wala na. Walk away na. Look for your friends.
sumasagot, pero-
Ito sumasagot. Sabi ko, sige. Try natin. And then eventually, nag-loosen up siya during that night.
I think after that encounter, it happened throughout the week since gusto talaga ako ilabas ng friends ko. Lagi din siya lumalabas ng time na yon. So it just so happened na every time I was out, he was also out.
When did you feel na, I feel comfortable talking to this person? Parang ang sarap niyang kausap, sarap niyang kasama, sarap niyang ka-hangout.
For me, definitely the first few times that we hung out, I felt connected to him. Because I don't think that nagkaroon ako ng conversation with a guy na na-enjoy ko as much as I enjoyed talking to him. Parang never-ending yung usapan namin. And there was always something to talk about. Kahit na hindi ko alam kung anong pinag-uusapan namin, he would teach me, about different things, open my eyes to different things that I wasn't exposed to.
Tapos until nung one time, in-invite ka niya sa bahay niya.
Yes. And
Hindi mo alam na nandun yung family niya.
he invited me sa house niya the day after niya ako tanungin if I wanted to be his girlfriend.
I asked her to be my girlfriend January 6, which was my birthday. So, yung
Kaya
asar
niya
ko sa kanya,
pinag-invite.
birthday gift ko sa sarili ko, si girlfriend. So,
Kapala mukha mo!
Yun yung joke
Ah,
lang.
ganun siya nag-ask sa'yo. Birthday gift na sa sarili niya, ikaw.
I mean,
Mag-guess ka.
later on naman,
Later
yun
on
yung
lang,
joke
yun
niya.
yung naging
Pero
joke.
parang ang
pag
hirap
kinukwento.
tanggihan naman ito, birthday niya. Ang hirap naman mag-note dito, birthday niya. So,
Yeah.
okay, nung tinanong ka niya, will you be my girlfriend? Ano naramdaman mo nun?
Medyo na-shock ako, but I really liked Mikael. I really, really liked him. And parang I just wanted to follow my instinct na parang he's a great guy and I want to enjoy this moment.
So, finally, you said yes. The next day, in-invite ka sa family.
Oh my God! Pagka-drive up ko sa house nila, from walking outside of the car, kita mo na yung dining room nila. Tapos, syempre, gabi. So, kitang-kita mo talaga yung lahat ng tao na yun, nakailaw sa dining room nila. And then, pagkababa ko ng kotse, lahat sila tumingin sa akin. Andyan na siya.
Who's this?
Who's
Who
this?
is this?
Alam naman nila no?
No, they didn't know. Yun yung time rin na in-announce ko, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend.
So, lahat sila parang, sino to? Bakit siya nandito? At bakit hindi namin siya kilala? And for such a big family, that's a big deal, ha? Na yung isang kapatid mo, biglang, bakit may girlfriend siya bigla?
Bakit agad-agad?
Oo.
Birthday mo kahapon, tapos ngayon, may babae kang kasama.
Oo, sino siya? So, at that point, I was just like, okay, ano ba yung mga dapat ko gawin at hindi ko dapat gawin? Basta ang alam ko, sobrang na-awkward ako kasi ang dami nila.
Pero ano yung first naman impression ng family mo sa kanya? Ano sabi nila?
To be honest with you, at that time, they weren't sure kung ano ba to, seryoso ba tong si Mikael? Kasi all of a sudden, like, I think,
Siya ba yung first girl?
no, she's my second girlfriend. This was Whirlwind kasi. So it was only 100 days
Yeah, tas
since we
naging
met.
kami.
And during that time, I wouldn't see my family kasi nag-work ako. So minsan lang ako umuwi sa bahay. And then all of a sudden, I come home for dinner and my girlfriend na ako. So they weren't sure talaga.
I think when they found out that I was in show business also, parang they were like, sure ka ba? Baka naman, she might be with someone else. Ganyan.
So, when did you feel for you? Kasi feeling ko lalaki yung makakaramdam nun, that she's the one.
I think it was later that year. So maybe like 6 to 8 months after we got together. I can honestly remember very clearly. I was in her bed. I was thinking about it. I was enjoying this moment with her. And I just said, I really enjoy being with her. I think I really love this person. So that was the first time. And then the second time was when I suddenly decided to ask her to get married. So we were again together. It was at night. We were relaxing. We had good conversation. Usually it always happens
Yeah.
after good conversation.
2014.
Yes.
Yes,
Nag-propose
yes.
siya.
2014.
Parang walang big gestures, walang grand scenes.
Which
na
is
nangyari.
just what I like.
Secretly, 2014 you were engaged. Pero yung in-announce na 2017.
Mm.
To the public.
Oh,
No,
when did we announce?
We announced that we were boyfriend and girlfriend officially.
Noong 2017?
2017.
Wait.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
you're right.
so super
2017.
secret.
Yes.
Super Pero parang alam na ng lahat na Mikael is your boyfriend. Parang nung time na yun. Kasi
Yeah.
alam na
Lahat ng
namin
press.
when you won na ang
Yeah.
boyfriend mo is,
Yes.
although hindi kayo ganun ka-open, pero alam na ng tao there's a special someone
Yes.
in the name of Mikael.
It was definitely an open secret sa mga press people, with the
Colleagues.
people that we worked with, yung colleagues namin. Pero hindi nila alam na engaged kami.
Bakit naging conscious effort yun na hindi nyo i-announce sa lahat?
Actually, napag-usapan namin talaga na hindi sabihin sa family, specifically our moms.
Dahil,
Pag nalaman ng mami ko, pag nalaman ng mami niya,
Alam na ng
malalaman
lahat.
ng buong mundo.
ay, mga nanay ganyan.
Oo.
yan.
And also, we didn't know kung paano namin gusto gawin yung wedding namin at that point. Gusto ba namin intimate? Gusto ba namin marami kaming i-invite? So parang wala nang stress, wag na muna natin sabihin sa lahat. We did not announce
Actually,
any
we never
engagement.
announced any
Ang in-announce nyo
nung kasal na
Nung kasal na
kami.
kami,
Doon lang.
Yeah,
Yes.
when we posted the photo after we got married. So I think we got married at
2020 yun.
Yeah, at 3
2020.
p.m. We got married at 3 p.m. Right
Oo.
after the wedding, we said, oh, okay, can I have a photo? I'm gonna post it now.
Yeah.
Yung pinost ko lang. And
Ayun ang
pinost rin
formal
niya.
announcement
Yes.
yun. Na we are together, we
Yes.
got engaged, we're married.
yes. All in one na siya.
All in
Para
one,
wala
all
nang
in
echibureche.
Pero tingin nyo ba, yun yung secret kung bakit siya nag-work, siya ka nag-last ng nag-last ng ganun katagal? Kasi parang hindi nyo masyadong shinare sa public? Yung relationship?
I think it worked kasi ginawa namin what we felt was right for us.
Pero dun sa YouTube channel nyo, you're sharing bits and pieces of your life together. Paano nagkaroon ng, sige, let's put up a YouTube channel tayong dalawa? Paano nagsimula yun?
Well, the YouTube channel started around 2013. So, nagsimula yun sa akin. Only because...
Ang tagal na! 2013 pa!
2013! Super early!
Wow! Yung mga simula-simula pa!
Oh! And then, I realized that I also wanted to tell and share my stories of my travels with my family, my friends, and loved ones. Pero ayoko yung paulit-ulit. Ayaw rin niya yung magkita kami with one grupo niya, pagkwento namin. Then my family, kukwento namin ulit. Then my friends, kukwento namin ulit. So I was like, alam mo, gumawa na lang tayo ng vlog, tapos sabihin natin, kung gusto niyo malaman kung ano nangyari sa amin, panoorin niyo to. So
and we literally did that.
And that's
yun
exactly
talagang
what we
purpose
did.
nun.
Yes.
Parang hindi na kayo magkuwento sa mga pamilya. Ito ang nangyari sa travel.
And you can go back to
Mismo.
it over and over
Tapos may
again.
konting income pa. So, I was like, okay, yes!
Pero may conscious effort tayo Our conscious effort was that hindi tayo magpapakita ng sweetness sa vlog. So, bawal ang kiss, bawal ang holding hands.
Kahit na
bawal
mag-asawa
yung-
na.
Well, for when we weren't
Prior to
announced
announcing.
yet.
Okay.
Prior to announcing that we were together.
Yeah.
So, yun yung conscious effort namin. Para individuals pa din kami and not necessarily a couple.
Paano nyo na-handle yung time na pumasok siya sa Miss World?
And
Nung
those were-
pumasok siya, tapos nanalo siya.
Oh.
Okay.
I like the one getting into it because
Yeah.
I remember this conversation that we had.
Yeah. Parang nung time na yun, unsure pa ako
2010, naging kayo. 2013, sumali ka ng Miss
Oo.
World.
Pero 2012, I was already considering it. And then sabi ko sa kanya, parang, I don't know if kaya ko to. Tapos sabi niya, bakit di mo subukan? I mean, kaysa naman magkaroon ka ng what if, di ba? And then at the end of the day, iniisip mo pa rin, sana sumali ako, sana ginawa ko to. Pero kung sasali ka, Bones, gawin mo 1,000%.
Sabi niya, okay.
Oo,
Wow,
hindi
I
pwedeng
remember.
half-baked at all.
I remember we had this conversation. Bago kami umuwi, we were talking and she was telling me, naglalabas lang siya ng feelings and ano naiisip niya. And I told her, you know what, if you're gonna go for it 1,000,000%. And me, if you ask me, I think you should. Kasi ang daming naghahanap ng opportunity ng ganito. And ikaw, you have the opportunity in front of you. So sabi ko, go mo na. Pero kung i-go mo, wag yung
Half-baked
papetiks-petiks lang.
Wag
Kailangan
pa,
all
bebe.
out. Oo.
Oo.
Literally, the day after, she gave
Training na.
she gave the people a call of her pageant group.
Yeah.
And then training na agad. Tuloy-tuloy na siya. It didn't happen automatically, pero she started working for it from that point. And I could
Yeah.
clearly see the shift, yung parang fire in her eyes.
Parang sabi nga niya, you know, what's important is you give your all. So at that time, kahit di kami masyado nagkikita nung time na yon, na-feel ko talaga yung support niya. So before getting into Miss World, malaking factor talaga siya sa akin na siya yung nag-push.
Cheerleader. Number one supporter.
Oo. And then he gave me the confidence. He super gave me the confidence kasi ano ako I'm a natural follower. I don't think that I'm a natural born leader like Mikael and his personality. He was trying to help me become my own person para ako na yung magme-make ng decisions and I don't have to rely on other people para mag-decide para sa akin.
Ano naging challenge nung time na yun? Meron ba sa relationship?
Definitely, I guess,
The distance, I think, was
yeah.
one. And
well, not really.
well, it was okay kasi it gave us a chance to work on what we wanted to. So it gave you a chance to work on, you know, your acting and your career, and it
Yeah.
gave me a chance to focus on Miss World and the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah,
So the separation, physical separation from each other was good for us as individuals.
Nag-grow kayo.
Sobra.
Super. Kasi at that
Sobra.
time, I was just starting in showbiz. And yung skills na kailangan para mag-succeed in showbiz, acting, singing, dancing, hosting, zero ako. As in, started from zero.
Yeah.
So hirap na hirap ako and I was struggling for years talaga. And people know that. You can watch everything and all I had in my mind was, okay, just keep on trying to get better. So actually the distance that we had was good for me because it allowed me to focus.
Ayun, galing. Kasi alam nyo, yung distance nyo, nag-grow kayo individually, pero
Yes.
hindi kayo nag-grow apart.
Yes. We were still there to support each other. I mean, syempre, distance, you know, it strains a relationship sometimes. And there would be times na nag-aaway kami. But we use that as a learning experience for ourselves.
Usually kasi, di ba, pag nananalo ang isang beauty queen, minsan nagsasuffer yung love life. At nakita natin yun.
Mahirap.
Maraming mga relationships na hindi nag-work after manalo ng title ng isang beauty queen. Pero yung sa inyo, nag-succeed.
Nung finals and a couple of days before the finals ng Miss World, ang daming umiiyak sa backstage. Sabi ko, oh, what happened to you? Tapos sabi niya, my boyfriend just broke up with me, or like, my boyfriend and I are rocky. So, ang daming ganon. Even yung mga competitors ko, they were really suffering emotionally talaga during that point.
Ikaw?
Well, ako, sabi ko, enjoy lang ako dito. Tapos si Fofo, ka-text ko, sabi niya, Bones, mag-cascade ka kung sino pwede bumoto sa'yo. Nagsa-strategize pa rin kami. So parang, ano to, laro?
I just remember that now.
Ano to, laro? Mikael.
So habang nag-iiyakan sila nagbe-break, ito naman naging strategy paano kayo boboto. Okay, go lang.
Sabi pa niya.
Can I share?
Okay,
You
fine.
just reminded me of this. Kasi I think Miss World had parang a text component.
Oo, lagi may ganyan, di ba? Ay, text
But at
votes.
that time, parang it was a bit newer yung style na gano'n.
Wala
Sabi
pang
ko,
Instagram
"Bones,
noong time na yun."
artista ka dito sa Pilipinas, kailangan ikaw yung manalo ng segment na to for sure. So lahat ng fans mo, tweet ka lang,
Hindi,
go.
tapos sabi niya sa akin, lahat ng kilala mong artista, i-DM mo. Oh my gosh, sobrang, an introvert pa ako. So parang for me to message somebody na hindi ko masyadong close, that really took
Big
a-
step ang
Oh my
sa isang
gosh.
introvert mag-reach out.
So sabi ko, I can't do it. Sabi niya, ano ka ba, nandyan ka na, gawin mo na. Sabi niya, kung hindi mo gagawin, paano kung mag-regret ka that you didn't do it? So parang, okay, sige, let the extrovert come out right now. So napatext tuloy ako sa mga
To campaign for you to vote
Vote for
you.
me!
Sabi ko, could you please share to your followers? Sobrang nahiya talaga ako to tell people at that point. But thank you for pushing
That's a
me.
nice story. I completely forgot.
So nung nanalo siya nung gabing yun, nung in-announce, Megan yung Miss World, anong naramdaman mo?
I was hosting.
Were you hosting?
I was
Oh, yeah,
hosting.
that's
I
why
was
you couldn't
literally
go.
hosting. No, I remember. So I was hosting an event, and the person at the back, I think one of the PAs yata, I knew that they were announcing already while I was on stage. Gumagano lang siya sa akin. Sabi ko, I remember
Hindi mo
just
napanood yung crowning moment.
No, hindi ko
He was
nakita.
working.
Yeah, nanonood ang buong Pilipinas.
Yes!
Yung boyfriend hindi nanood.
So,
Hindi,
I
pero
was-
nag-work kasi.
Nag-work, and we really tried to make sure na makapunta siya, but he was under contract for like a number of days and events. So sabi niya, it's okay, work first, we can watch later.
Okay. So, nung nasa stage ka, gumaganon yung PA, anong naramdaman mo? Naramdaman mo ba? Ibig sabihin
Naramdaman ko agad. I was smiling while I was hosting, and I couldn't wait to finish the event and then eventually talk to her. Although I kind of knew that I might not be able to talk to her right away.
Nagkausap ba kayo?
I called him. Siya yung una kong tinawagan. Sabi ko, Fofo, I won! Hindi ako makapaniwala. Sabi ko, oh my God! Bye-bye, I love you, gotta go. I won! Saya, sobrang saya nung time na yon.
Yeah.
Sobra.
Anong feeling na magkaroon ng beauty queen na girlfriend nung time na yun?
I don't know if I felt
Nothing
anything.
different.
Miss World! Ang kasama mo ng kadate, oh, Miss World!
Yeah,
Proud Miss World!
hindi ko naisip. I don't know, honestly, hindi ko naisip yung mga bagay na yun. Kasi for me, I'm not in love with Miss World. I'm in love with Bones. So if she is Miss World, then in her work, then that's something that she can hold. That's something she can use in her job. But with or without Miss World, I mean, she's still Bones to me. And it was very clear to me, and I knew that it was very clear to her that I was in love with Bones and she was in love with Fofo. And everything else, all the fluff outside of that was, yun, fluff. I mean, extra.
Ang
Kinikilig.
ganda! Ang ganda nun.
Naiyak ako na ewan.
Hindi, ang ganda nun. Hindi siya in love sa title. In love siya dun sa person.
Yeah. And he never made me feel na parang you're a different person. Especially at that time, di ba pinag-usapan natin kanina, hindi ako sanay na parang all this attention was all of a sudden on me.
Lahat
Na
sa'yo.
parang from being so low profile and doing my own thing, biglang people wanted to know so much about my life. And he made me feel na parang you're still the same person. And he always reminded me na ikaw pa rin yan, Bones. May title ka, you have something that you can use. Pero huwag mo kalimutan na ikaw pa rin yan.
Behind being the beauty queen Miss World, who is Megan? If you were to describe your wife.
She is the love of my life who will make coffee for me in the morning and whom I will have coffee with for the rest of my life. And I told her already that makes me the happiest person in the world. So I told her na parang when it comes to our lives, I told her that I found my anchor. Like, what makes me super happy? What can I strip away from my life and end with that will still make me happy? And I told her that, you know what? If I can have that cup of coffee in the morning with you every day, I'm good. Doesn't matter where we are. You want to move to the province, live in a bahay kubo, we're chill, magdala lang tayo ng kape. Let's have
may
coffee.
coffee tayo.
Let's have coffee in the morning.
Nabasa ko kasi yun, medyo ka-personality kita, na
okay.
ayaw mong i-discuss.
Yes.
May times tayo, pag magkaaway, I need space, I need to be quiet, I don't like discussion, I don't like arguments. Siya naman,
Head on.
discuss na to,
Yes.
tapusin na to. Kasi ganun din si Paul. So may kapareho tayo in a way.
Yes.
So, paano nyo hinahandle yun?
Well, I think there's also something that I should be more open about is that nung time na yon, although I wanted space, my personality before was that I like shoving things under the rug. Na parang if there's a problem, I wouldn't discuss it because I was afraid. Na feeling ko may makikita kang mali and something bad will happen. So at that point, parang he was so frustrated na sabi niya, bakit ayaw mo pag-usapan yung bagay nito? Kailangan natin to para, our relationship is better, you understand me more, I understand you more. And here you are, na parang okay na ang lahat. Parang dun siya pinaka nainis, na parang I would pretend na everything was okay habang hindi pa namin napag-uusapan.
Eh, yung gusto niya kasi, yung gusto ni Bones is, I need time, but let's never talk about it again. Yun yung problema. So,
Parang wag na, ayoko na
Yeah.
ayaw mo na kasi ng problema.
Ayaw ko ng away.
Ay,
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Pero kailangan.
yun. So yung sweeping things under the rug, bundok na yung rug niya.
Yes.
So,
Tapos
sabi ko,
biglang may moment mapupuno ka, di ba? Tapos sasabog ka na.
Oo.
Tapos hindi niya alam, saan galing to?
Oo,
Yung pala,
I
yung
just,
mga naipon.
yung constant choice na, okay, we have to make this better even though mahirap para sa'yo, masakit para sa akin, pero this is our choice. Let's try to be better people each and every day and let's try to be a better couple each and every day. So,
Yeah.
I guess yun yung naging decision namin. I guess yun yung naging style para malampasan yun, at least in our experience.
Yeah. I guess at that point, I wouldn't know how to approach a problem and fix it. Kasi parang nasa isip ko nun, basta nag-sorry ako, okay na. Because that's how I grew up eh. And with the people around me, basta sorry, okay ka na. But for Mikael, he taught me na even if you say sorry, you have to figure out bakit to naging problema in the first place and how do you adjust from there. So, thank you for teaching me how not just to say sorry, but also kung paano ayusin ang isang problema.
Pero paano lumabas or paano nangyari yung behind relationship goals?
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting. I think one reason why we also did the podcast was we learned through experience and through stories, yung mga kausap namin na mas matanda or mas matagal nang together. Ang dami namin natutunan through storytelling lang. And then that's what we wanted to share dun sa podcast namin na ikikwento lang namin yung experiences namin, yung travels namin, jokes, good times and bad times, and then bahala na yung audience what they want to pick up.
Oo, kasi hindi naman kami experts, in love. We're only experts in what we experience and in our own relationship.
Yes.
So para sa inyo, what is behind relationship goals?
Oh wow, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I have an answer. You Bones. I have that. Meron na ako sagot.
For me, there's a lot of honesty, definitely in a relationship.
Definitely.
A lot of communication, but also a lot of patience. Definitely a lot of patience. No matter what we do, we have to be better people para I can help you if ever you're, stuck in a rut or if something happens na hindi mo kaya mag-isa, tutulungan natin ang isa't isa umangat. So that's why we have to always consciously make an effort to be better.
I agree completely.
Miss World talaga.
Completely.
Koronahan mo na ako.
The
Just
Miss
world answer.
Honesty. Oh,
Yes.
Honesty talaga yung nasa top ng list namin
Behind
in terms of
relationship.
our relationship. So if Bones nagbigay siya ng mga qualities, ako gusto ko magbigay ng illustration. I don't think you know this illustration.
Okay.
So I will
Illustration.
illustrate.
Okay, go,
And then I
go.
always tell Bones this kasi sobrang natawa ako. There was this amazing priest who was my theology professor back in school.
Sa
And-
Ateneo.
Sa Ateneo. And he gave this analogy of love which para sa akin, yun yung naging parang core value of how I treated my relationship and my love for Bones and everyone else who matters in my life. So parang if you imagine yourself, your persona as a circle, when you fall in love with someone, you're bringing him or her into that circle. Pero yun nga, that circle, may space lang for yourself lang.
So you need to extend and push yourself so that lumaki yung boundaries mo to fit them. Pero the natural process is that gusto mong lumiit ulit to yourself lang. So you have to make that choice lagi na, okay, keep on expanding and expanding. And the more you try, mas dumadali na may mas malaki kang space para sa ibang tao. So yun yung parang illustration na binigay ko sa kanya and that I live by. Na parang every day, it's not always easy, but you make a choice to make space so that you keep growing with this person inside.
Mikael has taught me a lot in life, in general, and just about being a better person, I would say. I guess, parang we had different backgrounds kasi completely different backgrounds. And the things that I was exposed to may or may not have been the greatest influence in my life. So he was definitely there as a good influence. So I am grateful for you that you have made me a better person.
It's the best. Made you a better
That's about
person.
it.
He taught you, sabi mo, he taught you so much. What's the best lesson he taught you? Or something that he taught you?
What is the best lesson I taught you?
What's the best thing?
Ano nga ba?
Ano nga ba yung the best thing that he taught you?
Well, how to handle my finances. Thank you, Mr. Math Whiz.
Adulting.
In that aspect.
Sa love, anong tinuro na sa'yo?
Sa love, I would say that you taught me how to love unconditionally. Not just unconditional love for him, for the people that I care about the most. Parang he taught me na there are things that you may not like about certain people, but there are things that you have to also accept about them and move on with, because you can't hold a grudge because of something that you don't like. You can help them become better people, pero you do your part and you love them unconditionally naman.
Ang ganda nung sinabi niya, you made her a better person. Ikaw naman, paano ka naging better person dahil kay Megan?
I told her that you possibly helped me way more than I helped you. She was able to show me how to appreciate life and enjoy life and savor every moment. Kasi hindi ako ganun dati. I was like, okay, happiness is only in the future. Pag nakuha mo na to, pag na-accomplish mo na to. And just seeing how she went through life and how she was one half of this relationship, nakita ko na, okay, that's not the right way to live my life. I need to be able to appreciate this moment, enjoy this life, enjoy the cup of coffee every morning. So yun yung nakuha ko sa kanya. And I told her that. It's made me go through life happier. Much, much happier.